All righty, guys. Let's get into our picks here because this is the name of the game. And as usual, guys, we want you guys to put in your comments who you think is going to win in these games here as well. We got week 18, the final week. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-da-boom. Ba-da-da-boom. I don't know why it's so catchy, that song it is. But anyway, and by the way, we just had 980 subscribers. Thank you, whoever just subscribed there. Much appreciated. Let's recap where we're at here on the season here. So as of right now, going into this season, this final week of the regular season here, for straight up wins, I have 171. Rob, you got 167. For spread picks, I got 137. You got 115. You beat me up on the over-unders. I got 131. You got 139. And on the trifectas, meaning the same game, we got the winner, spread pick, and the over-unders all correct. I got 64. You got 53. So I have a 29-point lead going into the final week. So you basically got to blow me out of the water and then continue to blow me out of the water for the postseason as well. Because we will keep going all postseason long, guys. Let's go with our first game here. We got the Browns at the Ravens. That is a 4:30 game on Saturday. The Saturday game. Keep in mind, the college is over, so we got Saturdays for NFL football here. And you got a ridiculous spread here, guys. The Ravens are favored by 17.5 points, which is just ridiculous. It's like they're playing the Giants or something. A 41.5 over under on that as well. And to put that into perspective, that means they're only expecting the Browns to throw like 12 points, and that's it. I did the math on that. That's how bad it is. Like that's really bad, guys. And listen, I'm going to go with the Ravens to win this because they're clearly the better team. Now they're still also fighting for playoff contention here. So if they, playoff positioning, I should say, if they beat the Browns, they got the AFC North wrapped up, done. It's theirs, and they get the third seed in the playoffs. If they lose, then it gives Pittsburgh a chance to go ahead and win the division, which would drop the Ravens down to the 5th seed. So they're still playing for something here because that also means they get a home game, their first game in the playoffs too as well. So let's be honest, the Ravens need every playoff help they can get because
they definitely do not want to play Kansas City.
No. So again, Ravens, I got to win. I got the Browns to beat the spread because that's just a freaking ridiculously sick spread of 17.5 points. I also going to go with the over on the 41.5 because the Ravens defense isn't the Ravens defense of old. They're definitely going to allow some points up. It's going to be still a blowout, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be like a 2-touchdown score, not the 2-touchdown and a field goal and more.
Yeah, no, this so 100%. Ravens is the better team. Like they've been hanging in there all year long. You talk about Lamar Jackson, who's MVP candidate. Like everyone, saying how great he's been for the past couple of years, and he's trying to get that title, but he's also trying to get a Super Bowl. And he's got a lot to prove to beat the Steelers, who've been nipping at their side. Well, they were leading the division for a little bit. So the Ravens are going to win this game. But you know what happened the last time these two teams met? The Browns won. This is still a divisional game. This is still a divisional game. And they would like nothing more to spoil anything for their divisional rivals. So I do think they're going to win the spread.
As a Giant fan, I'm just going to say I am voting. I'm rooting so much for the Browns to win this game. It's not
100%.
Keep in mind, this is not about just playoffs for us guys. This is also about our own tanking position.
Draft picks.
I mean, tanking. It's called tanking.
But the last time they met, they also went over into what this game was. I believe it was like 27-30 with a Browns win.
Yeah, so we really got to figure this part of it out here because we are right now the 4th overall pick. The Browns are one of the 3 that are in front of us. So if we can jump the Browns or the Titans, we could be up to where we're going to get probably one of the 2 quarterbacks because New England's probably going to take Travis Hunter. By the way, we're up to 982 now, just 18 more subscribers, guys. Thank you very much to the 2 people who just subscribed there.
Muchas gracias.
All right, sorry, I cut you off. Continue your train of thought.
Oh, no, I'm saying the Ravens are going to win. the Ravens are probably going to blow this team out. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I was saying before, the Browns playing them close, is that like I do think it's going to be a blowout. Like, I think it's going to be sad. And the Ravens are in such a hot spot of just beating up teams, as the Browns are just going nowhere. I do think it's going to go in the over. I think the Ravens themselves are going to put up like 35 points. I mean, the Browns just put up 3 points last week.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know. They bench Winston. They don't want to put in Watson. Like,
back.
Yeah.
50 shot if throws to the right team.
But listen, who cares? He puts up points. If you're talking about players that want to win ball games, like you got Winston who's going to throw the ball down the field. At least you have an idea the ball's going to go down the field. You got DTR, their third string quarterback that they picked up a few years ago. Yeah, he's probably going to hold on to the ball and be very conservative with it, and that's what they've been playing ball like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Up next, you got another AFC North divisional game at the 8:00 Saturday night. You got the Bengals.
Saturday.
You get the Bengals going into Steel City playing the Steelers. The Bengals are 4.5-point favorites in this game, and the over/under is at 44 points. Now, this game on paper just looks like fun. You got the Bengals have been running hot. You got the Steelers have been wishy-washy, but
I just realized I made a mistake. On our sheet, I put 44. It's 48.
Doesn't matter. Still gonna go over. It's gonna be.
I'm just making sure before you give your pick that we're not. Yeah. I'm not.
It's gonna end in the 50s.
44.
You got Russell Wilson that has helped. Really, he's revived his career, looking good with the Steelers. You also have Joe Burrow, which is probably the second best quarterback this year in this league. He's got the most franchise touchdowns for the Bengals. He's got one of the most, I think, in NFL history with 2 touchdowns, like a running touchdown, plus 300 yards, and a certain amount of games. I think he's got like 5, which is crazy. He's holding so many stats this year. It's just the defense is terrible on the Bengals. But there's a lot of implications that we're not talking about here because the Cincinnati Bengals, who went 1-4 at the beginning of this year, and I've said from the first month that never count this team out with Joe Burrow, are now still in playoff contentions. They need to win this game, but they also need to hopes and dreams and a whole bunch of unicorn farts.
Yes.
Because they would also need either the Broncos. Is it the Broncos and the Dolphins, or just one of them?
And the Dolphins to both lose and them to win.
Yep. And the Steelers need this game to get that first seed division, like we were just talking about with the last game, and not get the 5th seed.
Well, Steelers need to win and have the Ravens lose to have a chance to get the 3rd seed instead of the 5th seed and get the division.
I was getting there, Drew. Yes, you're right. So what do you feel about this game, Drew? Because I'm taking the Bengals win, Bengals cover, Steelers cover, and the over.
So I'm taking Steelers to win, and Steelers obviously going to cover then at that point, and the over. I just think this is going to be one of those games that little Mike Tomlin magic is going to be coming out of that hat. I just feel like that's what's going to happen. And I don't know if he's going to trip somebody to win this game, whatever he has to do, but he's going to find a way to win this game. He might. You just never know. All right, we're on to Sunday, guys. Sunday. 1 p.m. games. We got the Panthers at the Falcons. Falcons are 8-point favorites. You got a 48-point spread overall in this. And guys, let's be honest here. The Falcons should win this game. This is the battle of a first-year quarterback versus a second-year quarterback here. So you get to see 2 at least young quarterbacks in this league here if you watch the game. I'm going to say the Falcons win this year, but a 10 points. Why do I have multiple things here? Again, 8-point spread. Seriously, someone's messing up the sheet here. It's an 8-point spread on this, where I feel like that it's too much points at that point. I feel like this is going to be like a field goal kind of game. I just feel like it's going to be a close game. It's a divisional game. Panthers have been playing well, better lately. So I got Panthers to go ahead and cover the spread. And I got under on the points. I still think it's going to be a low-scoring game. You got a quarterback still learning, and you got a quarterback that's still trying to get into high school and grow up. So, things are going to happen here. So, and not very fast. It's going to be a defensive-minded game. So, yeah, Falcons, Panthers, under.
I know. Falcons in the under because Penix Jr. is the guy that we talked about last year. Who's going to come out and play great football. He's played the past 2 weeks. They've been putting up points. They've been using the offense a lot more. And this Panthers team is god awful. So they're going to get that. I was okay with a 10-point spread and picking the Falcons. The Falcons are going to win in a blowout. So, yeah, there's not much more you need to say about that because they also need to win this game to have hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams. Yes. So if they win and the Bucks lose, and they get the division.
100%. Up next, and a meaningless game for playoff potentials. You got the Commanders going into Dallas, play the Cowboys. Commanders are 4.5-point favorites, and the over/under on this is 44 points. There's really not much to be said about this game. No. Commanders have come out, looked fantastic, and you don't even have Dak playing, who hasn't looked good when he was playing, and Cowboys are pretty much shutting it down. Would they like to make the DC lose and ruin some of the potentials? It doesn't really matter because they're going to get that. They're going to get a wild card spot. So you're going to get the Commanders to win this game. They're going to cover us, and they're going to do it in the over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of contention as far as positioning. It's just if the Commanders lose, the Packers win. The Packers get the 6th seed, and the Commanders go down the 7th seed. If the Commanders win, they got the 6th seed clinched up there. So there's a little bit of meaning for them there because whoever plays that in that 7th spot is going to face the Eagles in week 1. Again, we hate to say it, but the Eagles have been very good lately. Nobody really wants to face them.
But DC does play them pretty well for the most part.
Yes, but
they lost.
Yeah, you're gonna play them a third time. Yeah, like I said, if I was them, I would definitely care about that seeding. That's for sure. Commanders, I got to win this game though. I got them to cover, and I got the over.
Here we go, lock in a trifecta for both of us. Best game of the week.
There we go. All right, we got the Bears.
Bears
against the Packers here. Don't you know? We got an NFC North matchup here. We got the team that basically gets destroyed by the Packers every single year. The Packers own the Bears point blank. I think the last time the Bears beat the Packers was before Brett Favre got there. It just seems like the Packers beat the crap out of the Bears every single year. So yeah, guys, 10-point spread. I don't care. 41 on the over under, way too low. So yeah, Packers to cover the spread, and I got the over on the points.
100%. Because once again, we just talked about this last game. It's about where you're going to get seated. Are you going to play? Do you want to play the Eagles or whoever makes it in the 3rd spot?
Yep. And we said before, if the Commanders lose and the Packers win, it just changes to 6-7 in the playoff seeding. So there's a little bit of hope and meaning for these guys in this game.
Yeah, because 7 seed means you play the Eagles, like you said, and they've been red hot.
Yep. Oh yeah. And let's be honest, the NFC West and the NFC South are not very good. You want to face one of those guys. You don't want the Eagles.
Yeah, you probably have Green Bay has a lot better shot of
beating the Rams.
The Rams.
Basically.
Yeah. All right. Up next, another meaningless game. You got the Colts playing. I'm sorry, you got the Jaguars going into Indianapolis playing the Colts. The Colts are giving up 4.5 points in this game, and the over/under is at 45 points. This is a lackluster meaningless game. The only thing that matters in this game is the Jaguars getting a better seed in the draft or keeping their spot in the draft, if you will, moving it up.
At this point,
and the Colts
they get a better draft pick too.
Yeah, they're both going to need a better draft pick, but they're not going to get up to the top spot there.
No.
2 really terrible teams. I'm going to go with the home team just because you don't have to travel. And when you have to travel against a team and, looking at last place in the NFL, you don't want to play as it is. So Colts in this game, Colts to cover in the under in a terrible game.
Listen, the Jaguars won last week against the vaulted Titans. And listen, when it boils down to it, here's what it boils down to. We beat the Colts. We destroyed the Colts. I can't trust them to win against a freaking Pop Warner team at this point. I'm going Jaguars. I'm going Jaguars to win. Jaguars to cover.
Crazy.
They're getting anyway the points at that point, and I'm going to go under on this because I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair overall.
Yeah, agreed.
It's time for the blue and red battle.
Oh yeah, it's your shot, man. Do you want me to go?
I forgot. I'm so jacked up at this Jaguar game. So
I can tell.
Blue and red battle with the Bills at the Patriots. So,
Bills.
Oh yes. which weird. I never thought about that when Bill Belichick was the coach. You had the Bill versus the Bills. Oh, but yeah, Bills at the Patriots here. Let's be honest, guys. This only reason this game is even interesting at all is we don't know what's going to happen yet fully because the Bills have nothing to play for. The Patriots just want to lose because they want to keep that, that playoff seeding here.
The sweet number one spot.
I mean the draft seeding. I'm sorry. And I want the Patriots to win this so badly, but I just can't have any faith that's going to happen. So I'm going to go Bills, and over on the over under of 38.5, and Bills getting 2.5, giving up 2.5 points. So that's not that much. But again, I am rooting so hard for the Patriots to win this game. It's not even funny because if we can manage to lose and the Patriots get knocked out and maybe one of the team, we're a top 2. So yeah, I'm like,
nice. Yeah. So I agree with you. There's no way Bills lose this game. The only thing that they're really playing for, because they're clinching at that number 2 spot in the AFC, is Josh Allen's starting record. So he's probably going to come in, play a couple snaps, and then get out of that game. Granted, the Patriots also do not like the Buffalo Bills and would probably like to play a little harder. But it's not going to be much because the Bills are still going to get this spread, but it's going to be in the under because that high-power Bills offense is going to be resting up. So we shall see.
The Bills' backup quarterback. I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see here. Mitchell Trubisky. We're going to get the Trubisky.
The Trubisky show.
We're getting the Trubisky. All right.
Up next, you got our game. The Giants going into Philadelphia.
Boo!
Yeah, boo! Someone buy a plane. Fly it over there. It's going to be a lot of second string, third string starters in this game. Fourth string starters in this game. Pretty much. Eagles are only favored 2 points, which means Hurts is probably really not going to play this game at all.
How bad is that? They're resting their starters, and they're still the favorites. Well, it's public knowledge they're resting the starters.
Yeah, I guess technically we're resting our starters too because they're all injured.
I'm just saying, like that's crazy. That's how bad we are. People rest their starters. We're still not even favored. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
yeah.
whoop, whoop.
And it's also 37.5 points as the over-under. So they're really looking for a terrible game. Like, my God. And it to me, it doesn't matter because the Eagles are still going to win this game.
Let's go.
The Eagles are going to cover this game.
I feel wrong rooting for the Eagles.
And I took the over because I think it's going to be a little bit sloppy. It's going to be cold weather. The ball's going to get thrown around.
Sloppy Josh.
That was sloppy. They're going to miss the snow though because it's supposed to be. We're supposed to get a little snow tomorrow and a little snow on Monday. So hopefully these guys don't have to deal with it. Unless it snows, guys, I want to go with the over.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles under. I'm going the under because I'm anticipating the snow and I'm anticipating no one be able to score because the backups are in.
Yeah, fair enough.
We got the Saints at the Bucks here. We don't have to talk about this that much, do we? Really? I mean, 13.5 point spread that the Bucks are giving up, and you got a 43.5 point over under. Again, the Bucks have to win this game to secure the division and secure their ride into the playoffs. That should be no problem whatsoever. The goddamn Saints lost to the Raiders. Okay, that just tells you everything you need to know right there. So yeah, we got Bucks, and I'm going over.
Yeah, it's pretty much a no-brainer. I don't granted it is like a divisional game, but Bucks over. I agree with you 100% in this game. So let's just move on because no one really wants to talk about how bad this game's going to be.
We got the next one.
I was about to say you got the Texans going in and playing the Titans. The battles of the T's.
It's like the Hawks up about you. God damn it!
Yeah.
I would have named a Dr. Quinn and medicine woman. God damn it!
Yeah, you have the Texans are actually the favored by 1 point going through this game, with the over under at 38.5 points. That's because they don't know if who's going to start because obviously
I don't think there's a doubt in my mind.
They are.
They already got the division. There's nothing to play for at this point on their end. They just want to stay healthy and not get more people hurt because they already got a lot of hurt people.
100%. So, I mean, this is the no-brainer. The Titans have been terrible all year, and Will Levis is he starting? I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm still taking Texans to win. Texans cover in the under, in a very lackluster game.
Again, we are hoping the Texans sit all their starters. We want the Titans to have every shot to win. I'm just saying, Will Levis, I want you to have a double scoop of mayo in your coffee. No. I take
Skip the
that
coffee,
back.
just have the mayo.
I take that back. You put some goddamn Miracle Whip in that coffee. You get it going. I want some Miracle Whip in that coffee this week. Let's get it going. We need a miracle. Win.
Fight.
First off,
win.
Will Levis is not going to be starting at good. we just like bringing up the whole coffee thing. It is fun. But yeah, Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter.
I was going to say,
yeah,
when you bitch for Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Which is why we need to go ahead and block these bastards from taking a quarterback. We need them to win. So let's go.
All right. You're up.
All righty. We got the 49ers. Oh, I forgot to give my pick in the whole thing. We matched anyway.
I think we know.
I didn't say it. Anyway, we got the 49ers at the Cardinals here, guys, in the game that, quite frankly, no one cares about. Talking about a pointless game with two teams that aren't going to get in the postseason. That's where we're at. Not cool. But yeah, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to figure out who plays for what. I mean, it's just like you're playing for your next contract, I guess. Is that what's going on in this game?
Pretty much, and it's a divisional game, so they're just going to try to beat each other up.
Yep. So I'm going to hedge my bets a little bit here because the Cardinals are 4.5 point favorites just because they're healthier. I'm going to put Cardinals to win, 49ers to cover, and I'm going to go over on the points.
Yeah, I took the Cardinals being that because they're more at home, but they are injured, and Kyle Murray has not been playing hero ball like he was doing earlier this year. He's back to Call of Duty. I guess it came out with a new DLC, whatever it is. So I'm taking the Niners to win this game. I'm obviously going to take them in the spread, and I'm going to go with the over. I think it's going to be lackluster of a defensive game. And, I mean, Brock Purdy is a little dinged up, but look at what they played this past week. All right, up next, and another game that's meaningful for one, but not so much the other team. You got the Chiefs going into the Mile High, playing the Broncos.
That's right.
That's right. There's a 10.5 point spread in this game for the Chiefs. My God. Which
it's for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are getting the points.
Yeah, they are the favorites in this game. Like, what?
No. The Broncos are the favorites. The Chiefs are literally being given 10.5 points in this game because that's how bad it's gotten.
Well, yeah, it's because they're tanking everyone. Well, not tanking, but they're sitting everyone because when you got 15 wins and you're locked in the first spot in the AFC,
no point. You don't want to get
everyone. They're trying to get a third one in a row. Let's go here. Over unders at 39.5 points. This is actually a very important game for the Broncos because they have to win to make the playoffs at the number 7 seed. If Denver loses, that opens the door for Miami or Cincinnati to get into the playoffs. And like we said, the Chiefs are resting their starters. So like this is kind of opens it up. But know what this also is? It's a divisional game. So I'm taking the Chiefs to spoil this for the Broncos. I want to take them in the spread. And I'm taking the over in this game.
Ooh. You know what? We're almost there.
Saucy.
We're almost there. I got the Broncos to win. Otherwise, I'm right there with you. 10.5 point spread. I'm going to say the defense is just good enough at that point to keep everything going. Even though we mostly, again, backups are benching their guys. When you have a really, really top tier defense, you know what that means? Your backups probably aren't too shabby.
Usually that's how that works.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with them doing just enough to keep it just close enough where they lose by maybe like a touchdown. So I got Broncos, Chiefs, and then an over on the points. Now, keep in mind, this is important for the Broncos as well because the Broncos want to go ahead and win this game because if they win, they're in as a 7th seed in the playoffs. If they lose...
It's like I just said that.
Yeah. Saying, like, this is important. This is important. Reiterating.
It's a very important game for the Broncos. But Chiefs are a bunch of a-holes, and they're way better.
Yes, they are. Now, no news yet if Taylor Swift will be there in case those are wondering.
You also got Bo Nix,
want to know.
Rookie. Like, there's a lot of pressure on this young team.
Under pressure.
Coming down on me, coming down on you.
Chargers at the Raiders, guys. Chargers at the Raiders here. Listen, we got the Chargers. Let's be honest, are a much better team than the Raiders. Chargers are going to be in the playoffs. Raiders are lucky to still be in the NFL at this point. So we got the Chargers to win this game. That's what I got, at least. I want to speak for you, but I can see your pick, so I know you have too. So the Raiders have been given 5 points. To me, that's not nearly enough. So I'm still going to say Chargers to cover the spread. I'm going to go under on the points because the Chargers got that defense, control the ball, kind of thing. And then the Raiders got people dressed as pirates in the stands. So yeah, Chargers and under.
There's also Darth Vader out there too. You can see him every once in a while. It's fantastic, man. Those guys are crazy. I agree with you 100%.
I give them credit. Like they dress up like the Legion of Boom with the freaking with pirates stuff. It's crazy.
It's amazing. But yeah, Harbaugh is just such a good coach. Turn that team around. Chargers to win. Chargers in the cover. In the under. Antonio Pierce, yeah, guys like playing for him, but
the swan song.
Yeah, it's a swan song.
Probably gone.
Yep, 100%. Well, up next, you got the Seahawks playing the Rams in another divisional game.
I'm gonna ram them.
Yeah, Carl Ramrod. The Rams are favored 6.5 points in this game, and the over under is at 38 points. This is important for the Rams because if they win today, they still are Sunday. They'll still have they'll clinch the number 3 spot in the playoffs.
Yes. But they've also already announced they're going to rest their starters.
I was going to say McVay already announced they're going to sit their starters, which means Seattle could go in and take some of that spot from. So with Tampa Bay losing, get there, sneak in there. Sneaky without Pete. Don't think it's going to happen. So I'm taking the Rams to win this game. I do think it's going to be a little bit of a close game because Stafford has not been putting up the points that he has been. He's not playing as elite as he was earlier. So I do think it's going to be a closer game. I do think it's going to go in the over because 39 points to me, it's 38.5. But it's going to be each team putting up 20 points plus.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those games that
27-30.
Yeah, I do think that, but I tell you, I got the Seahawks to win this though. I think it's going to be on them making all these points because of the fact the Rams just don't care. The Rams are trying to get out of Dodge without getting injuries. So I'm going to go ahead and say Seahawks to win, and obviously Seahawks will cover. They'll win by 10 points or so, and it's going to be the over definitely on that. So next up, we got the Dolphins against the Jets. The Jets here, which might have their own airplane over the stadium at this point. You got the Dolphins are crazy enough only favored by 1.5, which just seems absolutely insane to me. 39 is the over/under, and this is the potential to have some meaning here because if the Broncos lose, the Dolphins would make the playoffs with a win and a loss by those Broncos. So there's still hope for them. Not a lot necessarily because the Broncos we already know are facing a team that's sitting on the starters, but there is some hope there. But let's be honest here, guys. They're going to do their part, no problem. It's the Jets. Aaron Rodgers already said he might be retiring after this. That's how bad it's gotten for him. So Dolphins
wait until March.
We got Dolphins to cover the 1.5 point spread, and 39 points is the over/under. I'm going under. I think the Jets will be that embarrassed their last game of the season here. We're really setting the stage for them to complete the season just how it started.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. It's a must-win for the Fins. They're really good at beating up on bad teams. So, and that's what I think they're going to do. I think the Jets are going to put enough points up on the board to allow the Dolphins to win in the over because of points wise. Like if you put up 33-10, we're good. We're in the over, which is probably what it's going to be like because they're a little better than the Browns.
Yeah.
So up next, the game of the week.
Oh,
an exciting game.
This season.
So much implications.
It's like a playoff game before the playoffs.
Yeah. This might be better than half the playoff games.
Seriously.
You got the Vikings going into Detroit. Detroit Rock City.
Get up.
Get down with the over-under. This game is 56.5 points, and the Vikings are home field advantage favorites with the 3 points.
Yeah, because of the home field.
Home field. This is on paper 50-50.
Yep.
Once again, this is for the first seed in the NFC.
This is for the first seed in the NFC. It's for the NFC North title. It's for home field advantage playoffs. Like this is so much riding on.
A lot.
It's funny.
You go from the number 1 spot in the playoffs to number 5. There's a big difference. So, that being said, Dan Campbell needs a wheelbarrow to hold his big old nutsack every time he walks around because all he does is go for it on 4th downs.
Oh, that kind of wheelbarrow. I thought you
yeah.
There's a little Karma Sutra talk there.
Oh, no. Maybe. I don't know because that dude's packing with all those balls. But you also got Minnesota, who's revamped Sam Darnold. Like, he's playing, like we said earlier, possible MVP candidate. Their defense is probably better than the Lions' defense, who's been a little banged up.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think big balls win this game and a very fun game. Lions win this. They're obviously going to get I took the Vikings in the cover because I do think it's a very close game, and I think it's going to be within, obviously, a field goal. Like, I think it's going to come down to, like, the last 12 seconds, and someone's winning, and they are going to have to win by 2 points in order to win this. It's going to be like 28-30 in a fun game.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the over in this game, even though the scenario I just said actually just put it right on point to be over.
So, you know what? When the Lions lost this season, both of the losses they had this year were away games, or were home games. So they've lost before at home and not impenetrable at home. The Vikings have literally won 9 games in a row. 9. I'm not talking German here. They've won 9 games in a row. Du hast. So, yeah, they're the hot team right now. And
listen,
I just
Lions are still hot.
I hear you, and I'm not saying otherwise. Like they're, but you're splitting hairs when you're trying to do this kind of game.
100%.
That's the hair I'm splitting here. Is the fact that one team has won 2 in a row, one team has won 9 in a row, and a home team, yeah, but they've already lost. The only 2 games they've lost at home. Still 6-2. I'm not trying to say they're a bad home team, but they're undefeated on the road. They actually have played better this season away. So I'm going to sit there and say that the Vikings are going to come in and upset the Lions, and they're going to win this game. They're going to win the division, the home field throughout, all the kit and caboodle here. And I got the under on the points. I think the Vikings defense is what's going to come in and do something in this game here. And it's going to be a tight-knit, close game. That's what they do. Like, if you look at the Vikings this year, they're not the blow you out and beat the crud out of you kind of team.
No.
The crazy thing is the Vikings have less points scored this year than the Packers and the Lions. They do. But they've also allowed less points. They have a little
they have a better defense.
So, yeah, this is going to be a situation where you got the Vikings just sneaking it out at that point there. And you got Vikings under, and I think it's a more defensive matchup that people are anticipating. All right.
Maybe.
That is our final game of the season. The regular
season.
Over. I can't believe it. Where did 2024 go?
Right out the window.
2003.
Right?
Draft Eli.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.